You could have the perfect job, the dream partner, a house that looks straight out of a magazine, and still feel like something's missing. Why does happiness always seem like it's just around the corner, never right here? In this video, we're diving deep into the psychology of happiness, why humans are wired to always want more, why satisfaction never lasts as long as we think it will, and what you can actually do about it. By the end, you'll understand why your brain tricks you into chasing the next thing and how to outsmart it to actually feel happier with what you already have. Think about the last time you bought something big, maybe a phone, a car, or shoes you saved up for. Remember that rush of excitement? That high doesn't last long. A week later, the new phone feels like just another object in your pocket. This cycle is called the hedonic treadmill. No matter what happens, good or bad, we slide back to our baseline happiness. It's like running on a treadmill. You're sweating, you're moving, but you're not really going anywhere. You get a raise, you feel amazing for a bit, then you adjust. You hit a goal, you celebrate, then suddenly it feels normal. That's one reason we're never fully satisfied. And here's the bigger picture. Our ancestors weren't worried about Wi-Fi speed or the latest iPhone. They were worried about survival. The people who felt content with one piece of fruit probably didn't make it. The ones who kept searching, hunting, improving, they passed on their genes. That's why our brains evolved to always want more. It was useful then, but now it leaves us restless. Psychologists call this an evolutionary mismatch. Behaviors that once kept us alive now sometimes make us miserable. Our hunger for more is hardwired. And then there's dopamine. You've probably heard people call it the pleasure chemical, but that's not quite right. Dopamine isn't about pleasure, it's about anticipation. It's the buzz in your brain that says, something good is coming. Scrolling social media? That's dopamine chasing the next like. Shopping online? Dopamine chasing the package. The catch is, once you get what you wanted, the dopamine drop hits. That's why anticipation often feels better than the reward itself. Scientists even found that rats pressed a lever for dopamine thousands of times, ignoring food and water until they collapsed. We're not that different, except our lever is Instagram or Amazon. And if you think winning the lottery would solve everything, think again. Imagine you win millions tomorrow. You'd expect to be the happiest person alive, right? But studies show, after about a year, lottery winners aren't much happier than before. Some are even less happy. Why? Because their new life becomes their normal. The baseline resets. The same is true with bad events. People who became paralyzed after accidents often return close to their original happiness level. It's shocking, but it shows how powerful adaptation is, both to joy and to pain. And then there's comparison. Social media makes this worse than ever. You're not just living your life, you're measuring it against thousands of highlight reels. Psychologist Leon Festinger called this social comparison theory. We judge ourselves by comparing to others, but we usually compare upward to people who seem to have more. That leaves us feeling behind, no matter what we've achieved. It's why you buy a nice car and feel proud, until you see someone with a nicer one. Suddenly your win feels small, satisfaction disappears. So if our brains are wired this way, is happiness impossible? Not really. Psychologist Martin Seligman says happiness comes from three pillars: pleasure, engagement, and meaning. Pleasure is enjoying simple joys like food, music, and laughter. Engagement is losing yourself in what you do. Psychologists call this flow. And meaning is having a purpose bigger than yourself. Notice that only one is about pleasure. The other two are about connection and involvement. That's the stuff hedonic adaptation doesn't erase so quickly. Here's the problem. Society pushes us toward quick dopamine hits, ads, apps, entertainment, all designed to hook us. But the more we chase, the less satisfied we feel. It's like trying to quench thirst with salt water. You keep drinking, but only get thirstier. That's why people feel empty, even when they have it all. They're chasing short hits instead of lasting fulfillment. One of the strongest antidotes to this treadmill is surprisingly simple: gratitude. It might sound cliche, but study after study shows that writing down just 3 things you're grateful for daily can boost long-term happiness. Why? Because it makes your brain notice what it normally takes for granted. Instead of chasing new highs, you're reliving old ones. There's another powerful piece in this puzzle, something psychologists call flow. Psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi described it as the state where you're so focused that time melts away. It happens when the challenge is just right, not too easy, not too hard. Flow isn't about external rewards. It's joy in the task itself. That's why artists, gamers, athletes, and even coders lose hours doing what they love. Flow skips the dopamine trap because it's not about what's next, it's about right now. And don't overlook the power of relationships. The Harvard study of adult development tracked people for over 80 years, and it found the clearest predictor of happiness wasn't money, fame, or success. It was relationships. People happiest in old age weren't the richest, they were the most connected. That means your happiness isn't hiding in your next purchase. It's probably across the dinner table. And then there's purpose. Psychiatrist Viktor Frankl survived the Holocaust. He wrote that people can endure almost any suffering if they see meaning in it. Purpose acts like a compass when pleasure fades. Tie your happiness to contribution, growth, or helping others, and it lasts far longer than a dopamine rush. So here's the big realization. You're never truly satisfied because your brain wasn't built for satisfaction. It was built for survival. But survival isn't the goal anymore. Fulfillment is. The trick isn't to eliminate desire. You can't. The trick is to stop letting it control you, to step off the hedonic treadmill and choose where you run, to know the shiny new thing will fade, but gratitude, meaning, connection, and flow can last. So instead of asking, what's the next thing I need to be happy? Ask, what do I already have that makes life meaningful right now? That's the shift that changes everything. Let's recap. Happiness feels fleeting because of the hedonic treadmill. Our brains reset after highs and lows. Dopamine drives anticipation, not lasting joy. Social comparison makes us feel behind, and real happiness comes from gratitude, flow, meaning, and relationships. Understand this, and you stop chasing highs. You start building a foundation that lasts. If this video opened your eyes, subscribe and hit the bell, and see you next time. Bye, and do not forget to be happy.